Hello and welcome to adrianmcmastergaming, and in this video I am going to show you how to build a FiveM server with no framework, or a basic FiveM server using no framework, meaning no QB core, no ESX, no pixel, no pixel, not even pixel, not even your own custom framework. So what we do, well, the first thing you need to do is, you'll see on my screen as I have the folder area open. So what we're going to do is go to an area that I have called projects. So what we'll do, we'll go to projects B, and in the projects I'm going to open projects again, the folder. Then in the folder called projects, I'm going to go to demo server. Then in that demo server there's a folder called demo, and in that demo there's a server called Cfx.re. Now what you want there is something called an artifacts. So what we do is go to the browser, where it's either Google Chrome, Opera, or what we do then is look on your browser, or make sure you go to FiveM documents, and when you're in the FiveM documents, or use the link provided in the description, and on that page you look for setting up a vanilla FX server, and in there you'll see Windows Server build listings. That's the one you require, because most of you will be using Windows, unless of course you're going to use Linux. Then you will require the Linux version. So well, obviously I don't recommend that. I recommend you use Windows. The other thing you will need, if you're going to do things manually with TXadmin, is something called Cfx.re. If I open that up, you'll see it's called Cfx.re. You then download that code with a download zip. When you download that, you'll have a folder. Now I'll show you what to do about that later on. Let me close that out of the way. I'll provide the link to that in the description. So what I'm going to do is click on Windows Server Builds. In there you'll see, as I saw the previous video, 5562, which is the recommended, and also latest optionals 5562. But I'm going to use the latest step by them, which is or newest one, to see what it's like. It's 5838. Now remember, if you're going to use a later one, it could be unstable, it could be a bug, a typo error, it could be anything, so it all depends. So I'm going to download that, and it's just downloaded. Then I'm going to close the browser when done, and close the browser again or the next tab. Then I'm going to bring me downloaded page which is open. Then I require the server 7Z. So I'm going to double click on that, and that will open up my extractor. And then I'm going to click edit and select all. It should be similar on most extractors. So what I'm going to do is bring up the file area where I've got the demo set up. Then I want the artifacts. So I'm going to drag the artifacts, and you'll see that now ready for use. Then I'm going to close the downloads window, or leave that open, because I'll show you why. So with that CFX server, if you're going to just do it manually, what you would do, you would open up the extractor and extract that CFX server data to the CFX server data, or you can just open up the resources part and drag that resources into the Cfx server data, because in there you've got all your main basic game files. That's if you're going to do it manually. Now I'll explain with the TXadmin in a bit why that is, so as not to confuse you. So the first thing you want to do is go to that pink icon called an FX server execution, either double click or right click and click open. You then get your console window open, and there's mine. So I'm going to click link account, authorize TXadmin, and then I want the password of my choice, so it's copied the password on the first line what I use, and then I want to duplicate that to verify I know the password and that is correct. And then we'll tick the tick box create. Then we're going to type in the server name, which is demo server. Then we're going to click next. Remember I mentioned the Cfx server data and do things manually. Well, if you was going to do that and you have the files already in that Cfx server data, what you do, select existing server data and refer to the video before this one about to set up a basic server, and you'll see that in there about the existing server data, what I clicked on and what to do. So refer to that video. I'll put the link to the video in the description for those of you who need help, because I'm not going to show that bit again. So what I'm going to do, because it's with TXadmin, is we're going to click popular. So on that popular one you'll see 4 options. So you've got the one when you're going to use a framework, which I've shown, a QB Core, ESX Legacy, and Zap hosting the EXX pack, which is version 1 or Legacy version 1. Then we've got CFX default, which is your basic. So what you do, you click on that CFX default. That's the one we're going to click on. Now you'll see it, and now you got to enter the path. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use that path that's listed because it'll give me something different. So I'm going to change the path, and what we're going to do is go to the area where the CFX server data is, because I've already in there. So what you'll do, click on that CFX server data, go to your address bar, right click on your mouse, click copy. That's your address copied, and what you do is highlight what you see on the address area, which I've done, or you can delete that if you wish, and you can right click and click paste, or you can press left control and V, and that pastes that in for you. Then we click save. Now it's done the CFG for me. Now there's no database because it's not going to use a framework, so you click go to recipe, and there's your recipe, which is going to download that from the GitHub, which I showed you. We're then going to click next. Then you'll need your license key, and there it is. So in there you've just got your basic server. So if I minimize the files, what I'll do is click next. It's then created the server CFG, and I'm going to click save and run server. It's then prompting to create the chat, and then I'm going to minimize my browser. And what I'm going to do now, or what we are going to do, should I say, when I go onto the ultra wide, is we are going to click, or I am going to click FiveM. I say we because it's like a tutorial, so you're following what I am doing. So then you have your FiveM thing start to open. Then what I'm going to do is click on Neptune. You might see it as local or some numbers, you got your server name with numbers. So we click on that like so. We'll require some, there's like some form of like script that allows you to use those commands. That's something I plan on trying to learn soon as writing a script in my own, which will look like that. So there's a lot of things you can't do. Now I can explain something. You can use the, and I'm going to say, as always, thanks for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, click like. If you'd like to see more from me, click subscribe, and not quite the bell yet, it will be soon if more of you keep subscribing. And and see you all in the next video.